What's going on, you guys? It is a new day here working on the 240. A little bit of a progress update for you. I decided to go along and redo a lot of the trim on the car. So this is the one that goes on the driver's side. So it will go right here. By taking this off, I can wrap underneath here, and then with that trim piece snapping back over it, it should prevent this from pulling up. We filled that big dent in the door. The driver door handle is out still before we wrap that, so I'm gonna wrap that today. Also wrap the outer quarter panel that shows right underneath the over fender, so that'll be done. And then lastly today, we will be wrapping the trunk. Also, as just a little side note, I think the biggest thing that's made this like a successful do-it-yourself project for me, not ever wrapping a car before in my life, this is the first time I've ever done it. I think the thing that really helped me the most is just taking the time it takes to do it right the first time, and doing stuff like this. So on the car, I took off the door handle for the fenders, so I could really get this corner nice up here. I actually took off the whole headlight assembly and everything. So I think just taking stuff apart, taking stuff off the car, doing it right the first time, I think that's what really helped me do this successfully, I guess, by myself. That and hours and hours of research. So if you guys want to wrap your car, 700 bucks versus 2 grand. I got a couple quotes around town. I had to do all the body work myself as well, so it'd be extremely expensive. All I did was order the wrap and just learn along the way. Make videos, try to help people out, get some entertaining content out while I'm doing it. So I'm learning on my own and kind of figuring it out as I go. But something that I wanted to do for a long time is make this car all one color, and here we are. So just got a couple more panels to do and then it'll be done. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys up on the time lapse, and we'll go ahead and wrap the trunk right now. In the middle of the trunk, you guys will see the footage, but the SD card was full and I didn't really have time to format or anything. I kind of got in the middle of wrapping it, so you guys won't get to see the rest of it, but it is done now. I also really wanted to get the taillights in, so I decided to wrap underneath the over fender. Today we're going to be wrapping the roof. I decided to take out the sunroof, so I'll go inside the car and show you guys how to take out the sunroof. I think it'll be a lot easier just to wrap it underneath here. We're going to make sure that this is super clean so that it sticks and doesn't peel up underneath. But I think without the sunroof in, it'll make it really easy to wrap the roof and get like nice edges and everything without having to cut around the seal. So. Get the sunroof out in the S13, you're going to be pulling this latch forward, and as you pull this latch forward, you're also going to want to flip this lever forward. Now that will release this clip right here, and then kind of at the same time while pushing up, this rod kind of falls out of this little U-shaped joint and this lever comes through. So then this will lift up now. Now on the front of the sunroof, there's going to be this little slider. You just slide it towards the driver's side of the car. You'll see that little red square. So it should be free to lift up now. So now what you want to do is lift up the back side of it. We've done the latch in the back and the slider in the front. So you're going to lift it towards the front of the car and then slide it back towards the driver's side. There we go. So we're going to lift it forward towards the driver's side, or towards the front of the car. And we're going to slide it back towards me. It should just come off. There you go. All right, so I have a lot of cleaning to do now. This side is gonna show when the sunroof is propped open. I'm gonna be pretty careful about this side, prepping it and everything. We're gonna try to get this whole channel in here like spotless. It'll be a little bit tough to get around these hinges, but this doesn't matter as much. I think I'm more crucial on the back side, since when it lifts up, you'll be able to see that underneath. But this will make it a lot easier to wrap in here. So we're gonna be cleaning all inside this channel. It'll really help the wrap adhere to it, prevent like air bubbles or peeling up or anything over time, and then that sunroof will just snap right back down over top of it. You'll never see any sort of seams, or it shouldn't peel up. Yeah, the wrap will not stick to that at all. So you want to make sure you get this thing like spotless before you lay down the wrap. That's the key to getting it to prevent from coming back up around these edges and everything. I could take an X-Acto knife around it and leave the sunroof in, but I figured this will be a way better way to kind of wrap it around the edge and prevent it from peeling back up. So if you do that this way, you want to make sure that all this debris is free, because the wrap won't stay. It'll just peel right back up. So while I'm getting out a bunch of the little wrinkles, I also like to go around the edges and kind of just like push them outwards. So I'm kind of trying to just like push them up to this piece of trim right here on the edge of the windshield. I'll try to just squeegee it outwards, kind of towards the edges. So kind of work on these edges as I go as well. And then same thing with the sunroof here. So I'm just trying to like make a good contact point. It sticks to the corner and it will continue to stick around the corner and prevent from peeling up in the future. A really good way to do these edges around the front, the back, and the sides where these seams are. I left it a little bit long, so I cut on the seal side, I guess. So there is this extra material here, but having that extra works really well to tuck it with this. So basically I'm gonna just heat it up and then just tuck this edge down like that. So give it a lot of heat, wrap it around this corner, make a nice connection on that edge. I'm gonna push downwards and back towards the front of the car to kind of like tack it up against that little wall that goes vertically down in this channel. So we'll go ahead and do that on all four sides. We're gonna do it here on the front as well. Tuck the wrap underneath the corners on the fronts, and then underneath this seal. So hopefully if I can get all this excess underneath the seal, it shouldn't pull back up. outside and on the inside by the sunroof. Up here, I'm really happy this turned out. I basically just tucked it underneath, so I was able to it was kind of hard just by myself, but I basically left it long, cut about halfway through the seal, so maybe about a 1/4 inch long, and then was able to tuck that underneath the seal, so you'll never be able to see that seam. Whereas when I do this A-pillar, I'm gonna have to go and make sure that this overlaps, because you can see that seam right here. When we do the A-pillar, we're gonna have to overlap that. In the front, I was really happy with how that turned out. And then in the front, it doesn't matter as much. You'll never see this under the seal too, so it's all about trying to hide it as best you can. The other thing that I've been doing that I've had good results with is when you're going around the parts that you cut. So after I cut off all the excess here, wherever you cut wants to shrivel back up. So I kind of just go over and just with some heat, just like final touch and just push the vinyl back down. If you don't do that, it kind of wants to shrivel back up and it won't stick. So just kind of finalizing or like finally applying that last cut that you do is really important. So looks pretty good now. Let's get the sunroof in. That thing is disgusting. So let's go ahead and wipe that off real quick. I'm gonna have to get a new seal for the sunroof. This thing is just thrashed up. Roof looks really good. I'm super happy with how it turned out. Overall, it was actually really easy. I think I'm really glad that I took the sunroof out. That was like literally an extra 2 minutes, but that helped so much. I think it looks pretty good. It looks crazy to have this thing all be one color though. I can't believe it. I'm gonna be so stoked to get it out of the garage when it's all done. So, and then actually the other thing is we also have that 326 wing. So we're gonna be putting that on probably in the next video. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for sticking around for the end of the video. The next part will be crazy. I'm gonna be tightening everything up and doing some final touches. And then after that, we'll be out of the garage. We'll be doing some crazy stuff with this car. So first drive, 326 wing. I got some matching gauges that we're gonna put on. This is just the beginning. So thank you guys for sticking around. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And stay tuned for more.